Okay, I just wanted to spend a bit of time to go through one of my trading accounts. This is the account here. We started with a £4,000 deposit, as you can see there. That started on the 22nd of Jan this year. Every single trade that has been placed on this particular account has been placed by REA. And as you can see, we have winners and losers, and over the term, so up until our last trade was taken on the 1st of July, so very recently, we've seen a profit of £1,342 in, 6 months or something like that. So something like a 35% return in that period, which again is really strong. Now, what's really interesting about this is that it doesn't just use one strategy. Now, it is a breakout strategy, but within that breakout strategy, we have a number of others. So as you can see here, we're actually utilizing 9 strategies. So what we see then is some, of course, do better than others, but they're all based on their own confluences, their own entry and exit requirements, and so on and so forth. And we see that spread across multiple timeframes as well. So you can see here that sometimes we do have multiple entries, but each one is separate to the other, so that it's actually managed separately. So the entry itself might be similar, but when we're looking at exits and entries and so on, they're all slightly different. And as you can see, they're using slightly different lot sizes as well. So yeah, it's really clever piece of software. We've been running it for some time now. This is just essentially an account that I've been running for the best part of this year. And we've seen an incredible return from it. But yeah, I wanted to share that this is real trading. This is a live account with YC Markets, and as you can see here, this is the MyFxBook data for that particular account. We've got a 33.5% return over that period. We started with a £4,000 balance. We've made £1,342 in profit. And yeah, as you can see here, relatively smooth equity curve. Yes, we had a period where we lost. It happens. It's trading, but otherwise it's relatively smooth. We've seen a drawdown of less than 8%, which is really good. I've actually set it to risk a maximum of 40%. That's my particular risk tolerance. Obviously, that can be individual, but with that, we see that we're doing just under 6% return per month, and we're still not getting anywhere near that 40%. Which is great, really good to see. As you can see here, had some really strong months, one basically break even, one phenomenal month last month, and we're up for this month as well. So can't really ask for much else. We got some more stats here as well. We've taken 235 trades in the period. We got a win rate of it's a 70% win rate across longs and shorts, so really good. Best trade, £241 in profit, and worst trade is £82, which is great as well. So it's nice to see that difference in how much our best trade and worst trade is losing and winning, of course. So yeah, that's just a little overview of this particular account. If we were to look at something on the other scale then, which is our trading desk then, so exactly the same strategy. We're only risking 6% of the balance. This particular account was a 200K. As you can see, the trading history again. And yeah, we saw then that we started in May 12th by May 28th. So, wow, 2 or 3 weeks later, we actually had a withdrawal of just under £3,000, which is great. We then started again 29th of May, and we had another withdrawal on the 23rd of June, just over £3,000. Now, this particular client has increased their account size to a 500K now, so we should start to see higher withdrawals again, and hopefully this can continue moving forwards. So yeah, that's a bit of a breakdown of 2 kind of different ways to use our strategies, and that being on the trading desk, where you've got a capital allocation, you've got more money to trade with, and you're making your money work harder for you. But also on the flip side, you can use it on your personal capital. And as you can see, there are some phenomenal returns, just under 35% in 6 months. And then if you wanted to, you can have a look at doing maybe a larger level of drawdown, so a larger risk, if you like. I started this account similar time frame to the last one. This was a £1,000 deposit. Haven't withdrawn anything from this particular account, but it's been running for a similar time. Again, all of the trades placed by the EA, and this has done 56% in the same period. So slightly higher risk, lower balance, and we see then nearly 60% in the same period. So that's great as well. Actually connected this one to MyFxBook as well, so we'll have a little look at that. We see a larger drawdown to the previous account, which is to be expected because we're running this as a higher risk. But yeah, we see then 56% return in just over, well, 6-7 months then, which is incredible. Again, relatively smooth equity curve. We had a bit of a drawdown, but otherwise we've been going the right direction, which is good to see. This looks very similar to the previous results that we saw with the IC Markets account, but again, looking really, really healthy here. Looking at, well, 66% win rate, which is really good again. Best trade being £116, worst trade being £40. It's good again to see that difference. 215 trades taken. As you can probably see, this is a very solid strategy with an obvious edge, and yeah, we've been running it for some time. We have actually got other accounts then. If we have a look at this MyFxBook, this has been running for a little bit longer. Again, this is with IC Markets, IC Trading, let's say 270% profit in just under 2 years, which is great. So we started this 22nd of October. Since then, we see a very smooth equity curve to the upside. Again, very low drawdown. This account is risking 30% is what we've set it to. And it's really good to see that we haven't gone anywhere near that. We've only used just over half of what we've allowed. We started this with just over $1,600. We're now trading on a balance of 5,600. So that's an incredible return over the period, and hopefully it will continue as it is. We've got a lot more data here. It's good to see that even with the snapshot that we've got from the smaller accounts that I showed you earlier, that they're very similar. Yeah, so we've got 801 trades. The win rate is very similar to what we were looking at earlier, where we've got 73% win rate overall from longs and shorts. Best trade being $249 and the worst trade being 84. Again, that difference in best to worst, which is really, really healthy. It's good to see. Yeah, so again, we've got a lot more data here, which is great. So we can have a look at this entire year. We haven't had a losing month. And that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Yeah, so if we were to go back to 2025, what we'll see here is we've got 2 losing months. We've got a February and October where we were down, and that happens. Well, what we like to see then, and what I personally like to see, is that the month after seemed to pick up the slack and get us right back on track. And obviously we've had some phenomenal months in there as well, but that month after a loss seems to really recover really well. So the recovery factor on this particular strategy is really good. Just the characteristics of this particular strategy on when you're trading gold just work really well. So yeah, it's just verified data on real accounts, and you've seen it firsthand now. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. If we can average 6.5% per month, which we have been, and that's the same across all the accounts that we've seen. If we have a look at the IC Markets, that's just under 6%, and the Darwin there, that's just over 9%. This one's obviously a bit of a higher risk, but you can see that with the normal kind of risk settings that we would recommend that you use, you're averaging somewhere in the region of 6% a month, which is incredible returns, and it's completely hands-free, which is even better. So yeah, I mean, if you're interested in finding out more about our strategies, we've got a number of others as well. This is just a quick demo on one of them. We're more than happy to go through it with you. Happy to go through the capital allocation model, and any questions that you may have, just click the link below, and yeah, let's have a chat.